What's going on, guys? My name is Aaron. Today we've got a new developer here. We're trying to fit. Well, he's not new totally. I've known him. He's been on the channel before. Trusted guy. His name is Jen. And we need to figure out, hey, did he come up with another project that is worth sinking our hard-earned money and time into? He titled this project the Flocky Frunk Puppy Coin or token, and we need to figure out, hey, what's the brain behind this? Is this a project that could go somewhere? Is this something that can make us money? If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. Again, I am a journey to 2 Bitcoin while helping as many people to their first one. And what I'm trying to do here is just trying to figure out which projects are the best ones to sink my money into. I try not to overthink this. I have a lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands, exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency with a whole bunch of other cowboys. If you want to join us, hit the subscribe button down below. Join the Saloon, that's the Telegram channel. Join the cowboysofcrypto.com. That's the website. That's the headquarters where everything's on. Guys, I'm not your financial advisor. So if you make money here, it's on you. Okay, congratulations. You're the man. You made it. But if you lose money, it's on you. You could blame me, but it's on you, really. And so I'm going to have the developer of these different coins telling us, hey, why we should invest into their money. Because a lot of YouTubers just read the website and they're just kind of like kumsa. They don't really care too much about it. But I want to talk to a developer who's excited about their project, who's not willing to hide and be anonymous, but willing to be doxed themselves and just kind of like, hey, I believe in my project, I stand on it. And today we have Jen from Jen Tokens talking about his new project, Flocky Frunk Puppy. Jen, welcome to the hot seat, my friend.
Hello, it's lovely to be here again. Yeah, thank you for having me
Yeah,
on. You are my go-to person if I make a new token.
of
So,
course.
my favorite crypto influencer. I get to wear a hat so people can't see my hair is thinning when I'm on video with you, so that's nice.
Oh, bro, I was just
That's a
about to
bonus.
say, I think you're looking handsome as ever, sounding great as ever, especially with the hat. This is great. So, Jen, for those of us who don't know who you are, can you just tell us a little bit of a background of who you are, how you came to crypto, that kind of stuff?
Uh, I am very new to crypto. I've been doing computer code for about 20 years, and I've got loads of different businesses on the internet that I do the code for. Then I got into crypto, and I watched a couple of videos that sent me down to this part of crypto, telling me to buy Elongate and SafeMoon. And I came down here expecting to make money, and I got rugged over and over again. I lost $2,000. I lost $2,000. Don't tell Carol. And then I put another $2,000 in, and I've lost that as well. And I just kept getting rugged. So I thought, right, I'm going to figure out how to make these things and do tokens that are safe, because this is a really dangerous place. It really is. So that's how I got started. And I've made several tokens that have been our own projects. And I've also been the developer on quite a lot of tokens now that are out there doing well, making people money. For me, you write a bit of code and you see someone buy a token, and then a few days later it sells, and you go and have a look at how much they bought and how much they sold. And when they make money, that feels awesome. That's what I really, really love about this. So that's kind of how I got started.
Got
And
it.
it all
So
comes down to there's just so many scams. That's what it comes down to. There are so many scams that if you are a good guy with morals, it's very easy to stand out.
Yeah. So you've been in coding for about 10 years. You got into crypto.
Oh
You
no,
watched a few
20 years I've been into coding.
20
So, but
years.
but not Solidity code that you use to write cryptocurrency. I've only learned that since about April. It's very similar to languages that I've previously used, so I managed to pick it up really quickly.
Mm. So,
So
so you picked up Solidity because of your background in
yeah,
April pretty quickly, and then you're able to write a whole bunch of code by hand. You're not using this like token generator. You're using it yourself. You're writing this
no,
code.
no, I just write from scratch. And
Awesome,
then
awesome. And then
one
and
of the good things about doing that, it's a good point that you've brought that up, because there's a lot of templates that just churn out the same tokens, and
mhm,
they don't have anything in them to like protect the buyer. So I tend to put things in the tokens I create that have limits that protect the person that buys the token. So even
right.
if it's not my project and I'm handing a contract over to a team, then I've got as much protection as I can put in there for the buyers of their token, even if I don't know all the people on their team. So,
Right.
my main focus is trying to make it as safe as possible. But I mean, on my team with Gen Tokens like Ryan and Wolf, absolutely 100% trust these guys. And also when I'm doing everything myself, of course, it's just me, isn't it? So that's easy.
Right, right. So can you tell me just briefly about Gen Tokens and what you're doing there? That's your team, your business, your project there.
We are making a safe place where people can buy tokens without having to think about it. That's the idea behind Gen Tokens. Now, I love the ape tool on PooCoin where you first see the token when it first appears. And if you buy it first, you're going to make a shitload of money as long as it's genuine. But usually it isn't genuine. But if you do your due diligence and you research the token, by the time you've done that, the price has gone up and you've missed out. So I wanted to create something where people can know from our reputation that as soon as our token hits the market, they can buy it without having to think about it because they know that we're safe. So we're fully doxed. We take extra measures to make sure things are safe. And we also do things like fair stealth launches instead of a pre-sale, because we don't want pre-salers to get cheap tokens and then sell them and crash the price. So we just try and do all the things that we possibly can to make it as safe as possible. So liquidity, I just burn the liquidity. I don't see the reason to lock it. I mean, even if you're locking it for a year or 5 years or whatever, the lock opens at some point. But if you burn it, it's just gone. It's easier to just burn it. You don't have to think about it. And it's the safest thing for the buyer. So that, for me, is the way all tokens should be. They really should.
Got it. Okay, so you have a team that takes extra measures, extra steps to make things genuine, which is gen tokens, or safe. So things don't get crashed, things don't get rugged like you've been rugged in the past. So, okay, so great. I have a good, nice round background going into Flocky Frunk Puppy. Now, tell me
it's
about.
So hard to say.
Tell me about Flocky Frunk Puppy.
You said it twice. No, I don't have to say it. It's so difficult to say. It really is hard to say. Flocky Frunk Puppy. I keep calling it Frunk.
I keep saying Frunky.
Frunky Puppy. Damn Elon. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the idea behind it, Elon did a tweet of a picture of his dog sitting in the frunk, which is the front trunk of a Tesla. And his tweet just said, Flocky Frunk Puppy, nothing else. And as you can imagine, the Binance Smart Chain exploded with an avalanche of tokens. I went over to PooCoin and I searched for Frunk, and I got about 80, maybe more tokens that included that word, which are pretty unique. I started to have a look at them, and it was like rug pull, honeypot waiting to rug pull. It was like liquidity $3, market cap $1 billion. There were loads of them, and I was like, this is just outrageous. And I was looking at the transactions. There were so many people that had lost money. It was crazy. But when Elon tweets, people buy whatever he's just tweeted. So I was like, right, I am going to make a token off the back of this tweet, and it's going to be safe. And hopefully the people that have bought the scam ones will find mine, make their money back, and make some profit. So I've got a guy at the moment who is working extremely hard for me, and he's going to all of the Telegram groups that he can find for all of the Frunk Puppy tokens that have already scammed, the ones that have already rug pulled. And then he's contacting each of those people in those groups individually. I mean, it's taken him a long time to do this, to say to them, we know you've bought into a token based on Elon's tweet and it's rugged, you've had money stolen. We hope you didn't lose too much. Get yourselves over to here. This guy's doxed. You can see his LinkedIn. It's genuine. We hope you get your money back and some more. So that's what we're trying to do. That's our focus. In the very short term, our focus is to make it safe.
Okay, so you've created Elon. Okay, so we'll start with the general premise. Whenever Elon tweets, millions of coins, let's say 800 coins are created.
It goes nuts. Yeah,
it goes crazy. And so everyone's making these coins based on his tweet, especially some of this nonsense. I'm sure he knows what he's doing too. He's like making these things, and so they're shooting off. But every one of these coins are like getting rugged. Okay, can you help me describe what is a rug?
I mean, well, first of all, I can't say that all of them are, but about 80% of the ones I looked at had already rugged. They'd already stolen money. But, I mean, probably there's some that are genuine. I mean, mine probably isn't the only genuine one, so I don't want to kind of foot on other people's projects. There's going to be some genuine ones there.
Give me some definitions here. What's a definition of rugged, and what's your definition of genuine?
Well, when something rugs, the developers have deliberately removed the liquidity from the token so that the people that have bought the token can no longer sell it. What they also might have done is minted some new tokens that just creates loads of new tokens in the supply and then sell them and the price crashes to nothing. Generally, it's a deliberate way of the developers taking the money from the buyers. And that's not on. It's just not on at all. The genuine tokens, I mean, I set the bar pretty high on what I consider to be a genuine token. When I launch a token, I do never keep any tokens back for me or for anybody else for any purpose. So 100% of the tokens that are created go into PancakeSwap for people to buy. Usually I don't buy my own tokens, but if I do buy them, I never buy first. I normally give it about 10 minutes to let other people buy. Then I'll buy, and I'll only buy at market value, the same as everyone else, on a wallet that has to pay fees. And I'll only buy up to a maximum wallet. I don't buy my own token, just hold it. But what I used to do is never used to buy my own tokens at all. It just felt wrong. And then when my tokens went up in price and I could see other people selling them and making money, I felt like I was missing out. So when I kind of realized that, I do hold some of this token, but I bought it after 10 minutes after launch. Other people bought before me. I bought it at market value, and I don't even have a max wallet. I just have some of them because I want some of them. So that's kind of the way I launch things. I also do it quite discreet as well. I think that if you have like loads of people waiting to buy and a load of hype and 10,000 people in your Telegram and stuff like this, what normally happens is the price just shoots up like crazy. You attract a load of bots, and then the bots all sell. They take a load of profits and go away, but all that money has come out of people's pockets. And then those people have got a load of tokens that are worth nothing. So you see this massive pump and then this dump back down. And it takes ages before it gets to a new all-time high where those people can recover their losses. So I kind of much prefer that we have this steady growth over time as new people find out about the project. So that's the way I like to do tokens. I think it's much fairer all around.
So yeah, do you then tell people about the token and then you wait? Is there any particular thing about waiting 10 minutes? Why don't you wait 15 or 20? Why don't you wait 5 minutes?
Well, it's just random. I just make sure other people have bought before me. That's all I do, which I think is ridiculous. I don't know why I do it. It just feels wrong to buy your token before anyone else. It feels like you haven't given enough people the opportunity. But I mean, on this one, what I'm doing as well, I've got a marketing wallet. And when the token goes down, I use the marketing wallet to buy the tokens. And then I'm moving those tokens to separate wallets, 2.5 million tokens in each. And I've got 4 wallets with 2.5 million tokens in them that I've done this with. And I'm giving those tokens away. So I'm running giveaways to give those tokens to people. That's what they're allocated for. Now, the tokens that I bought not long after launch, I'm considering just doing the same thing with them anyway. So just keep them sitting in a wallet. Every time I do a giveaway through the Gleam interface and we do it live on YouTube and stuff like that, just award the tokens to a person. It's a brilliant way of spreading awareness of the token, getting new people in. I mean, Gleam is a fantastic platform for, virally spreading awareness and then giving people more chances to win. So we've got 2 of them going live at the moment now. And one of the ones is to win $100, which was the good one. And then I did a new one, which was win 2.5 million tokens, which were not worth very much at the time, but now they're worth about $2,500. So all of those tokens have been sitting in a wallet. It was 2.5 million, but now it's 2.6 something million because of reflections. And whoever wins the giveaway event gets everything in that wallet. So even though it's accumulated some extra reflections, they just get the entire lot. So someone will win about 2,500 based on the current price. And it's, which is nice. But if the token goes up in value, they win a lot more. So as soon as this giveaway ends, so this one ends, I think, tomorrow. As soon as it ends, I'll start another one. Then I'll start another one. So I've got tokens in wallets that are allocated for this. But those tokens were not held back. I bought them at market value to put into those wallets for this purpose. So it's kind of like doing a buyback that helps the price for everybody who holds a token and then giving the tokens away as well. So it's a bit of a double whammy, really, and it's a really great way of promoting and raising awareness.
Yeah. So are you? So this is your major way of marketing is the giveaways then?
Well, it's the most cost-effective way for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I've got an AMA coming up with Moonarch later this week. I've got a couple of pin posts on various Telegram groups. A couple of banners coming up and various other things. I'll be doing crypto. We're actually almost number 1 on crypto moonshots on Reddit as we speak. So we've got a few posts going on some subreddits and on crypto moonshots, and they're I think we're about 4th or 5th, but it's going up quite quickly. So we are trending on Reddit. We're also doing. We're going to be doing PooCoin ads on the banner adverts on PooCoin, but they have requirements. You need to have $40,000 in your liquidity before they'll accept your advertising, which we don't have yet because it started with a very small market cap. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we hit their requirements, we will then do the banner advertising. So we've got the banners ready, but we don't, we haven't fit the requirements yet. It's the same for CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap as well. When we satisfy their requirements, we'll get listed on their exchanges and things like that.
What's the market cap right now of
Flocky
Frank?
It is $77,000 market cap, and in liquidity, we have about $10,000 sitting in there at the moment. I'm actually logged in here for those people who can see my screen on the Telegram. This is one of the wallets that are going to be given to someone. So it's just over $2,000 at the moment. Right, where are we? Are we on this one? Yes, we are. I'm back.
Awesome. So okay, so you're creating this token, it based on, can I know some of your track record on some of these other coins that you've created? What have you done with them? Do you hold Flock? What's your plan with Flocky Frunk yourself personally? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to piece this into like your bigger what you're doing in crypto as a whole, right? Because you're
Yeah.
creating these different coins. Do you still trade on your past coins? What can I expect from you to do in this one?
Well, the main coins that we have Gen Token, which was our sort of flagship thing, which is the one that people can hold to be able to get in before public launch on any token we launch for ourselves or somebody else. That's its use case. So we have that token. We have Lucky Gen, which is a prize pool giveaway token. So it accumulates BNB and then someone wins it. We have Genius Boy, of course, which is the token which
video
has
game, right?
Right, we are so close to the game releasing on Genius Boy, and we have been delayed over and over again by Apple. Because we've got the leaderboards and we're integrating the leaderboards together and we're giving away prizes for people, we have to track all that. So we've got a back end that tracks it, and it gets the leaderboards from Android and the leaderboards from iOS. But the iOS thing will not play ball with the Android or the website. Android's doing great, that's ready to go, but we kind of need them all integrated together. So it's given us huge delays. It's so frustrating, but we are close. So we've got some technical people from Apple's kind of support team, their developer support team, and Brian and our Unity developer, Pav, are both communicating with Apple to try and get that sorted, and then it will be ready. So we're excited about it, but the idea behind those three tokens, Gen, Lucky Gen, and Genius Boy, they all have a use case. So the use case on this token, we're going to focus on marketing. We're going to focus on creating something that's incredibly safe for people to be able to make money. And once the token has become more established and it's bringing in profits, we're going to use it to support charities that support dogs because it is based on a tweet about a dog. So we're going to be giving back to dog charities for doing this. Now, where I live in Colombia, people absolutely love dogs. So everyone's dog goes to dog school and there's dog clinics everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be using money to support these places. And what I'd very much like to do is to take the money out of crypto, turn it into fiat, go to the places on video camera and hand it over, and then go back there later and see what they've actually done with the money that we've given to them, so we can, bring that back and show the people that we invested in the token. So yeah, we know that when Elon tweets, that's the only reason this token exists, because Elon did a tweet, and that means that we can generate. We can use this for good. We can generate an income out of that tweet, and we can use that to support something and to give back. So that's what we want to do. We want to put money towards the charities like that.
So so this dog charity right here, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to find some dog charity. You're going to donate once it becomes. When is the point where we're going to give back to the dog charities?
Well, the focus at the moment is marketing, because the more marketing we do at the beginning and the bigger the token gets and things like that, if we can give it a bit of a head start, then obviously when we switch over to the charity side, it will be bigger and there'll be a lot more money going in towards the charity. So if we did that right from the beginning, we'd struggle. So we know that the primary focus at the moment is to just chuck everything that we have into the marketing side of things and raising awareness. So we're doing but we have to be very careful about doing that, because normally when you make a token, there are a huge number of people that are very happy to take your money, but the results that they get back from the marketing they provide for you, it makes no difference whatsoever. There's no value there. So we're being very careful about who we approach about promotional opportunities and things like that. We need it to increase value to the token and the holders.
For sure. But where's the turning point here, right? You're at a $77,000 market cap. Mm-hmm. When's the turning point to start? Like, when will you see the market cap high enough to then start giving back?
It's when you make a token, you start to notice that the community kind of takes over. And it's a very natural thing. It's almost like a snowball rolling down the hill. At the
Okay.
beginning, you have to push it and push it and push it. So you got to be there all the time. You got to inject money. You got to inject time. And if you stop doing that, the project dies. So you
Okay.
really have to push. But after a certain amount of time, the people you attract into your community, it starts to just go by itself. Now, this can happen quite quickly depending on who you get in your community. I mean, we got a guy in our community, Robbie, and he saw a promotion for the token. He liked it. He bought it. He helped him. He told one of his friends who happens to be a YouTuber, and that guy who is Crypto Lightsaber, he made 2 videos about the token. So you get a few people like that in your community, and all of a sudden it really starts to move by itself. So
Mm.
I mean, you can't say to someone when we hit $200,000 market cap, we're going to do this. It's a matter of when we don't have to keep pushing the marketing because it's just happening by itself. I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah, for instance, Doge and Bitcoin don't need to spend their marketing wallet on promotions because they have already started to
The
hit
ball's
that
already
point a long
rolling
time
then.
ago. Yeah,
Okay, so
I'll
that
keep
makes
pushing the ball. Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense because it's so yeah. So for me, like when I come across these projects, right, that is like a charity coin or so.
Mhm.
To me, it's I don't know if this is a fair statement, but it's like a hype coin or a trending coin or something like that, right? Elon
Oh,
tweets,
absolutely, that's
but
true. Yeah.
and there's like a certain. Would you agree that there's a certain type of life cycle to this coin, or is
Uh,
this?
I think in most cases that's completely true. And I think what we've got, which gives us a little bit of an advantage over most meme tokens that do, they jump on a tweet and it's a meme and they give to charity and that kind of things. It's that we are so transparent, and it really leverages my reputation of being completely dark. I mean, I share my LinkedIn profile, and it's a profile I've had for about 20 years, and various businesses are on there that I've done in the past. It's not. I mean, I've been to some projects, and it says all of the dev team are doxed, and you click on it, and it's like a brand new Twitter, a brand new LinkedIn, and like a picture that looks like they've bought it from a stock footage website. It's like I'm not worried about people knowing who I am because I've got nothing to hide. I know I'm genuine. Now, one of the real blessings for me is that almost everybody else isn't. So that just automatically, I mean, it's the same as you. It's like you make genuine videos about crypto, so
Yeah,
people come to you to do things like we're doing today, and that
and I appreciate
elevates
it.
you. Yeah, I mean, it elevates you to a point where you don't have to spend loads of money on marketing to attract those people in. It's the same kind of thing that's going on with myself and Jen. Not just us, of course. There are other great developers out there as well. But there's so many scammers out there that people like me and Mark and Monkey and the developers that are doing the right thing, we just get elevated by all of the people that are stealing. So, I mean, what I said earlier about the number of Frunk puppy tokens that are scams is just astonishing.
Yeah.
And all of those people are looking for one that's genuine, that they can trust. And I mean, you can't get safer than the way we've created this token.
So
But
I've got a. So recently, a story, something happened to me, right?
Mhm.
And maybe you could help me think through this. I did an interview with a guy who's a total scammer, total skeezer. Okay, he created a coin called Slingshot Coin, and he was fully doxxed. He fully doxxed with me. I made a YouTube video on it. I don't expect you've seen it or anything, but he showed me where he lived. He told me he was in New Zealand. He was talking to his kid, and on his face was doxxed, fully doxxed. Anyway, his name was Mick. Right.
Yeah.
He didn't give me a LinkedIn profile or anything, but then he rugged his project after 4 days, after I put it out to my community. And luckily, the Cowboys community is pretty sharp. I mean, they're pretty
Yeah.
sharp. So there's only a couple new people into crypto who bought into it. It was just maybe like 4 or so. And so no one really bought into that coin. But here's my question. Um, can't doxing yourselves to
Mhm.
me it is not the full. I mean, I know you, I trust you, I've seen you for a long time, so I'm not necessarily talking
Yeah.
about you, but to me there are scammers out there who are not afraid to dox themselves but then still have are brazen enough to rug pull people in their community. Now they're probably one and done, right? They're probably one and done, they can't do it again, then they have to go
Yeah.
anonymous. But help me understand that. What's the mentality of someone doing that? Or maybe you don't understand the mentality yourself because that's not you, but like what?
So broken. These are broken people. Um,
Yeah,
I
you know
don't know.
what,
It's
that's
like
true.
also it's kind of like what. it's like sometimes people say I'm doxxed and it's just a photo of some guy, and you're thinking that means nothing. Or they jump on a camera and they say, "Yeah, I'm doxxed. You've seen me on camera." It means nothing. It's like if you can't find that person's address and track
Mhm.
them down, they're not really doxxed at all, are they? They've just kind of like spoken on camera. You couldn't go and find out who they are just from
Yeah.
seeing them on camera. You need to see some identification. I mean, I've worked with some developers before, and before we even started the project, we all got our passports out, which is, ooh, that's my old passport. So we all got our passports out, and we all worked together, and we all put our passports on camera. So here's mine. So
You don't.
I am doxed. That is me
You
right
don't
there.
have to. What are you? You're crazy.
At all. I have nothing to hide. So it's like before I worked with Mark from Mind Music and David, we all got on camera and was like, here's our ID. This is my social security number. This is who I am. This is my name. This is where I live. And we shared that information with one another before we moved forward. Now, we'd been talking to each other for ages, but each of us knew how important it is to have that level of trust. Because I mean, if you work with a team, you're dealing with other people's money, and those
Yeah.
people, you've got to have that level of trust. And unless you do absolutely everything yourself, you need to make sure that anyone who's got access to anything is someone that you know is going to be genuine. And just having good feelings about them is not enough. Now, as well, there are two things, for me personally, there are two things that I think uh, I have that a lot of people generally don't. First of all, I trust my heart over everything. It does. I don't care what a person shows me. If I have a bad feeling, that wins every single time.
Sure. Sure.
And it goes
Sure.
the other way as well. If I have a good feeling about something, even though my brain is telling me no, then I go with it. So I've
Sure.
had people who've tried to sell me things before, and I thought it looked really dodgy, but my heart is saying yes, so I have to buy. And I mean,
Sure.
if someone comes to my door with a sales presentation, I do not listen to them. I listen to this. And if this says yes, I don't care what they're selling, I buy it. And if this says no, there is no way they're going to get my money. Just no way.
Sure.
I do the same thing when people come into my Telegram group saying, do you want to, we've got a promotional opportunity for you. I do the same thing. I just trust, my own gut instincts. The other thing as well is, and this is exactly the same with you, I know you have this, there is money that is tainted. And if it's ill-gotten gains, it has no value. You're going to
Mhm.
pay it back in the future. I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. You put value out, you get value back. You take value, value will be taken away from you. So that is everything I do is based on that ethic and putting massive value into the world. It's the way you get value back. Now, I mean, that is from a religious or a spiritual perspective. But aside of that, everything we do is on the blockchain. Every interaction I have is on the blockchain. There
Mhm.
will come a time in the future where a person will press a button and it will crawl through all of that and it will say, this person rug pulled this project on this date 20
Oh,
years ago.
that's. I
And
think
they'll
you're
get
right.
a knock on
Yeah.
their door. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine making millions from rug pulling and living in some luxury mansion somewhere? And every day you are thinking, what if today's the day where the FBI come knocking on my door to drag me off to prison because all of this was
Yeah.
from rugging people in the past? I know that day's coming. It's all there on the blockchain. We don't have the technology. Well, no one's bothered to write the software to do it yet, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it happens in the future, you're going to have people who are, you can't sleep at night. You're looking over your shoulder. You're wondering, who's that? Am I being watched? That would be a
Yeah.
horrible,
I
horrible way to
I
live.
agree with you. I think that technologies or that software is down the road. I think it's coming eventually. So
Yeah,
what
well,
you
I hope
what
so.
what you're saying, yeah, I mean, right? What you're
Yeah,
saying here is that what you're bringing to the table is a track record
yeah,
of launching tokens that are
yes.
safe, that have use cases, and
Yeah.
that ride a hype potential because that's important in crypto, at least right now.
Yeah, it really
And so
is.
you,
It really is important. And I mean, all that shilling stuff that happens on Telegram, I feel like it's a bit dirty. All the, you know what I mean? But you really need, there is a place for it. It has to be done. But I don't like it. I feel like I've
yeah,
had a shower after. It's like being going to go
feel
on a
bad
shilling raid.
about
I
them.
think, yeah, I'll go on one, but I just want to go and wash myself afterwards.
Yeah,
It just
well,
feels a bit weird. I don't know.
well, I feel like so if someone's watching this, you guys you should know that Jen has a track record, has a history of it, has a community around him that
Hmm.
really get behind him and say, hey, you know what? He's a genuine. He's not rug people. He's not rugging people. He's not one of those guys. But you're giving an opportunity for some, for anyone with the same opportunity to make some money here with Flocky
Yeah,
Frunk Puppy. It's an opportunity happening. Elon Musk tweeted, "You create a coin that no one will rug, then
yeah, exactly.
it's totally safe. And however the market debates about it, that's on the market. But you've controlled
Yeah, of
all the
course.
variables to where no one can rug this thing, unlike the other 80% of the coins that carry the same name. Is that about right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. I mean, what we've also got to bear in mind as well is no matter how much effort you put into a token and no matter how safe it is, if people stop buying it and they sell it, the token dies. So, I mean, this has a marketing wallet, and the marketing wallet is continually being used to prevent that from happening as much as we possibly can. But there's no way that you can say ours is the next Safe Moon or ours is the next Shiba or whatever, the next Flocky.
Right.
You just can't say that. You hope it is. You really do. And you do everything that you can to make it that. Now, I do have projects that I've done. Jenny's one, Lucky Jenny's the other. And at the moment, they're not doing very well. So I'm looking at why isn't it doing very well and what can I do to change it? Now, I've come up with what I think is a brilliant idea of changing the way that a couple of my old tokens work to give them life, to make them successful, because how they're working at the moment is not what I want. I want them to be a lot more successful than they are. So sometimes you've got to look at your own projects and you've got to say, it's not going exactly the way I wanted it to. I need to switch this up. I need to do something new. So the Lucky Gen token, what I'm doing at the moment is learning a new programming language so that I can have that token as like a progressive jackpot. In a casino where you see the big numbers at the top and it's constantly going up, and
Yeah.
it's like a Fort Knox type thing. Well, I want to turn that token into one of those. So it's going to be every time someone buys the token, it automatically creates a random number based on their transaction. And if that random number matches the jackpot, they win it. And the jackpot is constantly going up and up and up. So it might go up to, say, 20 BNB. And the odds of you winning will be increased as it gets closer and closer. So when it hits 20 BNB, the chances of winning are 100%. So someone has to win it. It cannot go any higher. Then it goes back down to 1 BNB again, and it starts to build up and build up. And it would all be fully automated. You'd see whatever amount it
Wow.
is at the website. But Solidity code, which is what we write these contracts in, it cannot generate a true random number. It isn't possible. So we do it based on the timestamp of when the transaction was mined. That's how we do it. And that can be manipulated by about 15 seconds backwards or forwards by the person that mines the transaction, which means they can manipulate it and win the lottery. So therefore, you can't do that because someone can cheat. But there are other computer programming languages where you are able to do this. So you've got to integrate these things together. So I bought a dedicated server for this sole purpose. So I've got a back end happening which is going to generate all the maths of calculating whether or not a person wins. And I've got to integrate this into the Binance Smart Chain so that when a person does a transaction, it all happens automatically. So you can have the
So
website open, buy the token, and then see immediately if you're going to win. So that's the
so
plan.
you're describing to me some technical stuff here, right?
Yeah,
To
yeah,
where
it's
you could
technical.
you could write us that code, and then you have to bring in another piece of code and you got to buy another server and it all works. Here's what I heard, right? Here's what I basically heard is that you're someone who knows Solidity and knows
Yeah.
coding in general, and you're someone who will not rug pull and will find the way in that all alien code language. You're going to find the way to
I
make
will
that
work
happen
out how to do it
to
for sure.
to try to
Yeah.
keep life into these coins. That's what I hear. Well, I don't hear the technical stuff. I'm sure you already described it, so anyone who understands it will understand it. But I have a lizard brain, right? I
Yeah.
hear you've got a way, and you see a way to make things happen because you actually know the code. Because these scammers out here, they just go to some code,
copy and
some
paste.
token generator, and they just write it up, and then that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. So
Yeah, of course
I
not.
get it. I mean,
All they
I
need to
fully
do is know how to remove the liquidity and steal the money. That's the only bit they learn. They don't bother with anything
yeah.
else. But yeah, as a coder, what a coder is a person that solves problems. So you look at something and you think, how can I make this better? Most of the time we think, how can I make this more automated? Because then we don't have to do so much work. That's our main focus. But we look at something and we say, is this being the best that it can be? And I've looked at Lucky Gen, I'm like, no, it isn't. It could be better. It could be better for the community. It could be better for the future buyers. And it could be better for the team as well. So it's like, what can we do to change it? And we come up with a way of changing it to make it better. And then it's like, how do we do that? And it's like, I have no idea how to do it, but I know that this computer language is something I need to learn to do it. So that's where we are at the moment. It uses a few languages that I've never programmed before, but I can look at it and understand it. So I know that I can learn how to do it. So yeah, that's what we do. We look at a situation, we say, can it be improved? And then we write code to solve the problem, and we test it to death as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, really important. I mean, obviously the blockchain has a test net as well, where we can deploy contracts exactly like we would do for real, and we have fake Ether and fake BNB, and we buy, and we have
Cool.
our entire community go over there, and we stress test these
Sure.
things we do. So you come up with an idea, and we get 50 to 100 people, and we give them all the test BNB, and they all buy, and we then take the contract away, and we try to break it as much as we can, so that we can make sure that when it goes live, it's as safe as it possibly can be.
Sure. Well, yeah, Jen, I mean, I appreciate like all this information. Is there anything else with Flocky Frunk that you haven't left on the table, man? I want to hear all of it. Is this what's the future? What do we need to be excited about with Flocky Frunk? Is there anything left that we haven't pulled out of you?
Well, I kind of want to, as the marketing wallet grows over time and the token gets bigger, new doors open to us. So at the moment, we're very limited on what we can do to promote the token. In the future, obviously, we've got CoinMarketCap, we've got CoinGecko, we've got KuCoin ads and things like that. But we've also got celebrities. So I'm looking at celebrity cameos, and I'm going through all these people thinking that would be a great person to get on this token. So because this is a token, loads of people made a scam, and then we've made a genuine one. So I'm looking at Bam Margera from Jackass.
Yeah,
right? It's not very expensive. And I mean, he's got a video saying, I can wish you happy birthday, or I can call your friend the cocksucker if you want to. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's the attitude we want. So I'm thinking we can get some really angry people to say stuff about the scammers and then say, buy the Gen Tokens one. So I'm looking at these cameos, and I mean,
is he going to light himself on fire or something, or slap himself?
He probably will, yeah. He probably will. For fun. He'll probably do it. If I say you're allowed to set yourself on fire, he'll probably give me a discount.
Okay.
So there's quite a few celebrities that would be a really good call for a token which is based on, there's a load of scams, don't waste your money there, go with this one. So I'm looking at that possibility, obviously, but it would have to be something that gets a lot more money in than it costs to do it, because some of them are ridiculously expensive. Others are incredibly good value. I was quite surprised. So you can tell the ones that are struggling, the ones that will just do almost anything for a few bucks. So yeah, I'm certainly looking at that option. The other thing, of course, is the possibility of doing things like games. Now, with Genius Boy, we'd never explored games before. We have opened a huge can of worms with the development of the Genius Boy game. It's quite convoluted, it's very complicated, but we're learning as we go. And as we're learning these things, we are seeing ways that we could do games in the future for tokens, not necessarily just on Android and iOS, but also through a web interface game. Now, from Web3 development, you can then tokenize the game. So people can win tokens, and you can buy things within the platform as well. That's much easier to do than I previously thought it was. But it does cost a little bit of money. But it is most certainly something that we're looking at for the future. So there are quite a few directions we can take it. Obviously, awesome. The other one is NFTs. People love NFTs.
Sure.
I don't really get them, but if other people see value in them, then that's fine by me.
I'm the same as you. I'm with you right there. I'm like the exact same boat with you with NFTs for sure.
I can understand it if the NFT does something. Okay, it's like I was thinking about, how people used to collect like baseball cards and things like that. I mean, if you had an NFT and then you had like virtual reality glasses and you like Babe Ruth swinging a bat and you could talk to them and it felt like it was in the future, I'd understand that. But a screenshot of Jack Dorsey's first tweet, what's that all about? That's absolutely nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, if I did go down the path of NFTs, it'd have to be something that I wouldn't feel like I was ripping people off, just selling them some nonsense picture for a stupid amount of money, because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if I could make something where the NFTs worked in a really funky way, and there was some kind of value that they gave people, then certainly that is a possibility for the future.
Right.
But if other people like them and they see value in them, then that's their call. It's like art, isn't it? You look at some art and you just think, a 6-year-old could have done that. To be
Yep.
fair.
Yeah.
When you look at
Yep.
the house and you just like, whoa. I mean, I do
Yeah.
paint, I sculpt, I paint, I draw, and things like this. So when I painted that. So yeah, when
Nice.
I look at other people's art and I think my 6-year-old nephew could have done that in 5 minutes by accident, I kind of don't see value in it. But I understand that other people do, and it's like
Yeah.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So
I don't know, man. I don't know with NFTs. But before we get off track too much, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you. I want to hear what the future is for Flocky Frunk. Obviously, it's so small, so new right now. So anyone buying in is so early. But it's a wide array that's opened up. Look, just as a moment of clarity for anyone who's watching this video this far, I just want to thank you so much. Just personally, I've known Jen. He came across. He came to me with Genius Boy a while ago, and it's on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And we've done some work before. I go to him whenever I see like a scam, and I'm like, "Hey, what about this coin? Can you check this out for me?" And he's done that for a couple of coins for me.
yeah.
And it's helped me like make my decisions on based on coins. So I trust him. Just a unbiased endorsement of Jen's background and track record. Not one of these guys who scams you. At least I don't know him as that, and I think he has a whole community as that. But again, you have to do your own research. Don't take my word for it, because I'm dummy too, right? A lizard brain. But do your own research. Is this something worth for you? He's offering a fair opportunity to make a lot of money based on a Elon tweet. This is what I mean. That's basically what we've kind of lined out here. And he's got a lot of good plans and a lot of long track record, and a lot of big plans for the future. So Jen, thank you so much for being in the hot seat. I hope I didn't grill you too much, but it's only fair that I grill you with the most difficult questions I could come up with. Last question: in a sea of cryptos, why should we be investing in Flocky Frunk Puppy?
Because it's so cute, man. Have you not seen the logo? No, today we was going to change the logo to a really cute one. I was like, no, it needs an edge. We keep those Thug Life glasses on it.
That's funny.
It's safe. That's what it is. It's safe. And it's like when we mentioned the possibility of what's coming in the future, we are talking about the possibility of not just Flocky Frunk Puppy, but the kind of idea of when Elon tweets. We know if Elon tweets something that could be a token, there'll be a load of scams. So we are thinking about doing, more tokens that are based on Elon's tweets. And we have this community that, although it's quite small, these people are amazing. They're really behind it. They're really pushing the marketing and things like that. So we could have a team of people for each of these, just so there's a safe place for people that are buying into these meme coins and trying to give them something more than just a meme, giving back to the charities and continuing to promote them so that it's putting, money in people's pockets. But at the end of the day, Dogecoin was just a joke. It was just a meme. And look where it is now. Now.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are so many tokens that are scams that if a token's going to do what Doge did or what SafeMoon did, the number one thing it's going to have is a developer behind it that is going to be genuine all the way to the end. Because if someone steals just a few dollars, when there's millions of dollars sitting there, it's going to be too tempting for them. But when you have the philosophy we have, the bigger that money is, if you stole it, the bigger price you would pay in the future. And I think that when you've got that mentality, then there is you cannot be bought for any amount of money. And every person on my team has that ethic. And that's why they've been handpicked to work with me.
Well, I think this is why a lot of people love crypto, man. It's just the Wild West. Like when you could see a Dogecoin or Shiba Inu coin just to the top of the charts, #1 gators.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Crazy.
We're living in crazy times.
I'm so glad I was born when I was and not like when my grandparents were.
It's
like having to go to war and not having the internet. It's horrible.
Crazy times. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, check his links in the description. Do your own research. This is all on you. Guys, don't overthink things. Lizard Brain, Gorilla Arms, Diamond Hands. Thanks, Jen, for being on the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.
We'll be doing this again sometime. You take care.
Absolutely. It was an awesome pleasure.